My injury that made me a wounded warrior was an IED explosion in Iraq. It was a gorgeous, hot afternoon, and convoy was coming down the road. I jumped in front of it to stop them from getting hit by the IED, and it was blown on me. Got thrown back about 15, 20 feet, and was taken off the line for about a week due to a traumatic brain injury.
I took a fall in the military and I injured my lower back, and then a few months later started developing swelling in both legs, and now I have lymphedema. The other injuries I have is I have severe plantar fasciitis in both feet, and I also have about 17 stress fractures between both feet just from jumping in and out of vehicles and doing a lot of the PT, things I never knew I had the foot issues that I had beforehand, and so I deal with a lot of chronic pain. But the biggest thing that I deal with probably is the PTSD and depression that goes along with it. Everything changed once I got injured, and I've had a hard time adjusting with that. And what also came was the depression about things, what's going to happen now.
I have a spinal cord injury, so I broke my back kind of in the middle upper portion of my back. I have 2 rods and 12 screws in my back, and then I messed up my right arm, so I ripped nerves out of my arm, which keeps my arm from being fully functional.
I received accommodations through support services. What I had to do was I had to get my medical records and show them to the support services, and they came up with a plan for me. This allows me to take my tests in a quiet area. I also get assistance where I can get preferential seating in the classroom because I need to prop my legs up from time to time. The other thing is I have carpal tunnel in my hand, so it allows me to type my answers on a computer.
I was awarded a letter for my disability from the DSS office at my university, and that's been the biggest help I could have ever asked for. I get time and a half on tests, which means I don't have to worry about test anxiety, a note taker in class. I get to take the tests in a quiet room, which no distractions, no loud noises, just me, test, and a pencil. It just gives me a chance to actually show the university and myself what I can actually do. It doesn't mean that I have some sort of label or a sign on my forehead that says I'm disabled. It just says, hey, I got hurt in the defense of my country.
Initially, I thought student services and support services were for people that had major disabilities or visual impairments, things that are very noticeable. And I also was still dealing with not really understanding my disability, not accepting it, and I was really embarrassed to tell people. When I finally got up the nerve and the courage to go and ask them, they were so helpful, and I wished I had gone to them well before I went there initially and gotten some help.
Starting off with the DSS office was kind of a difficult process, just because you look at the first word and it says disability, and none of us will ever label ourselves that. But starting out, my very first semester, I attained a 2.4 GPA, which will never get me anywhere besides, well, a diploma, that's it. But once I actually got through the fear of walking in the door and having that label, the people I met, the accommodations I have, the next semester, I was able to attain a 3.2 just because I had extra time on tests, a note taker, and priority registration for classes, which means I got all the classes that I needed for my major.